Hi everybody, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back to a brand new vlog and welcome back to my channel. So today's it is time for some more ghost train stories. It's time for some more ghost train stories. And I am going to this story is written by Tony Reevy, this book is written by Tony Reevy, and today's story is The Headless Brakeman, and it takes place up in New York, and it doesn't say what year this was. It might have been 1900, 1920s, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and say 1900 now, okay? All right? So it doesn't say what year this happened, but the Headless Brakeman, takes place in 1900 and 1900. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that right now. So the Headless Brakeman. Here we go. Up in New York, which is New York City, up in New York, there was a bomber brakeman named Tolly, who was dead heading home in a caboose one day. The night was dark, stormy, and icy. One of Tolly's friends, who was the regular brakeman on the run, was out on the car tops as the train rounded a dangerous curve. It hit a washout, and the engine and the first 10 or 12 cars derailed. Tolly was unhurt, walked up the train to see about his friend. The unfortunate brakeman was lying under one of the cars, decapitated. The shock of seeing his friend killed made Tolly settle down. He took a fireman's job on the same railroad and eventually became an engineer. He always tried to avoid the run that his friend had been killed on, but was eventually assigned to it. It was take it or lose his job. So he took it. One rainy, cold night, he was approaching the bad curve where his friend had been killed. He saw a red light up ahead and threw the brakes into emergency. The fireman went up the track to look, but couldn't see anything. Tolly was sure he had seen a warning light, so he walked up to take a look for himself. The light reappeared right away, and Tolly walked toward it. As he got closer, he could see that the light was an old-fashioned red railroad lantern as it swung from side to side. In a warning signal or washout, the lantern seemed to emulate a man clad in blue overalls worn by old-time brakemen. Tolly was excited now and began running towards the brakeman's, yelling, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" When he got close enough to see the figure clearly, he stopped suddenly and shook with terror. The brakeman had no head. Suddenly, there was nothing there. Sure, this was a warning from his old friend. Tolly walked around the curve, and Tolly was right. There was a washout, the same place where the fatal wreck had happened so many years ago. After the wrecking crew cleared the tracks and Tolly brought his train home, he handed his registration. So anyway, so many years ago there was a washout when the train when the train when the train derailed, when the train derailed, as it says right there, when the train derailed, Tolly was unhurt, walked up the train to see about his friend. The unfortunate brakeman was lying under the cars, decapitated. The shock of seeing his friend killed made Tolly settle down. He took a fireman's job on the same railroad and eventually became an engineer. He always tried to avoid the run that his friend had been killed on, but was eventually assigned to it. It was take the job or lose his job. So he took it, and then after that, one rainy cold night, he was on the run. And then after that, he was approaching a bad curve where his friend had been killed. He saw a red light and threw the brakes into emergency. The firemen went up to the track to look, and they couldn't see anything. Tolly was sure he had seen a warning light, so he went up to take a look for himself. The light reappeared again right away, and Tolly walked toward it. He okay. Okay, good. You like mine? Yeah. As he got closer to see the light, was an old-fashioned red railroad lantern as it swung from side to side, and a warning signal or washout. Then after that, the lantern seemed to illuminate a man clad in he saw a man clad in the blue overalls worn by old time brakemen. Tolly was excited now and began running towards the brakeman, screaming, yelling, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" When he got close enough to see the figure clearly, he stopped, suddenly shook with terror. The brakeman had no head. So the brakeman had got run over by a train, and then suddenly there was nothing there. Suddenly it disappeared, and there was nothing there. Sure that this warning was from his old friend, Tolly walked around the curve, and Tolly was right. There was a washout at the same place where the fatal wreck had happened so many years ago. So the wreck had happened so many years ago, and like I said before I read the story to you guys, it doesn't say what year it happened. And like I also said, it might have happened in 1900, 1920 something, or 1920, 1900, whatever. Anyway, but this 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 story has to be on the Travel Channel. This story has to be on the Travel Channel. And this episode has to have the story of the headless brakeman going back in time to the 1900s, and when his friend was alive, when he died, when he was on the run, and saw the apparition, and also the apparition of his friend, the apparition of the apparition of Tolly's friend has to be shown in the documentary too. Okay. The apparition of the apparition of the brakeman, the apparition of the brakeman has to be shown wearing blue jean overalls, and his apparition has to be shown, and he has to be decapitated. He's got to be decapitated. Okay, all right. So put the apparition being shown, put the ghost being shown on the Travel Channel. And also, as it is, let the story go back in time, okay? Let the people in the story go back in time to the old days in the 1900s, and stuff like that, okay? All right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Now comes the favorite part. I'm going to show you guys an example of what Ghost Train has to look like, and on the Travel Channel. I'm going to show you guys an example of what Ghost Train has to look like, and you will see the apparitions appearing. You'll see the ghost appearing on the screen. You'll see the stories going back in time. You'll see the people going back in time too. And it will give you an idea and an example of how Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel when you guys put it on there. Okay? So here's Haunted Travels. Please enjoy.
Cloudcroft, New Mexico is the kind of small town that immediately conjures up images of a time when the West was a bit more wild. But today, about 700 people live in Cloudcroft, where the pace is relaxed and locals greet you with a smile instead of a six-shooter.
People look out for one another, the businesses support each other, and it's just a great little community. It's a wonderful place to raise children and to vacation and relax. Relaxing is the big thing in Cloudcroft.
But it seems Cloudcroft's rough and tumble past still lingers. And there's one place in town where the past meets the present just about every night.
Welcome to the Lodge Resort and Spa in Cloudcroft, New Mexico. The Lodge is a full-service resort. A lot of people just come up here to rest and relax. We have an outdoor heated swimming pool, we have a sauna, we have an exercise room, we have a day spa that we offer massages and treatments and pedicures, manicures, things of that sort.
The lodge also boasts an 18-hole golf course and a fine dining establishment.
We're about Rebecca's is our fine dining restaurant, and most of our guests that lodge here, as well as people in the local area, about 2-hour drive market, they'll drive up just to have dinner at Rebecca's.
The restaurant gets its name from a longtime resident of the lodge, who, on special occasions, has been known to make appearances out of thin air.
See the apparition? You see that?
I had sweaty.
That's what Ghost Train has to look like. That's what Ghost Train has to look like.
But
So
when I went to see the staff downstairs, I just
yeah,
had this
so
frightened look on my face.
I froze and my knees went weak. My legs went to jello. And I couldn't move and I couldn't speak. And the tips of my fingers were just shaking.
I knew it was Rebecca. I felt her presence in this area, and I knew it was her immediately.
The legend of Rebecca dates back to 1911, when the lodge at Cloudcroft was built.
okay, you see how the story's going back in time here? You see how the story's going back in time? Well, this is what Ghost Train has to do. This is what Ghost Train has to do. You see the story going back in time here? This is what Ghost Train has to do right here, right here, right here, okay? So yeah.
She was what you might call a full service housekeeper.
We also understand that she had evening duties, and she took care of some of the locals and visitors in the area.
Rebecca's promiscuous ways made her very popular among guests at the lodge. But Rebecca's extracurricular activities didn't go over so well with her lumberjack boyfriend.
She really loved men, and she had a lumberjack boyfriend, and he worked out of town a lot. He wasn't here very often, and she entertained our guests, I could say. And one night, her boyfriend came back early from a logging trip.
He asked where she was, and when he found out, he flew into a fit of jealous rage. Legend says he cut off Rebecca's head and chopped up the rest of her body, burying the remains somewhere on the property of the lodge, and leaving behind a feisty red-headed spirit with no plans on leaving her favorite haunt.
You see how the apparition appeared on the screen like that? You see how the apparition appeared on the screen like that? Well, that's what Ghost Train has to do. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. So that is that's a good example. That's a good example. That is a good example of how Ghost Train should look like on the Travel Channel. And also that's what the Headless Brakeman has to do. That's what the Headless Brakeman has to do. The story has to show it going back in time to the old days, and the apparition has to appear. So those of you who are script writers and documentary writers, and those of you who work for the Travel Channel also, please put it on the Travel Channel. Please include this episode and this story, The Headless Brakeman, on the Travel Channel, okay? Okay? All right? So please include this episode. Please include this story. And I'll be back for some more Ghost Train stories. And I'll be back for some more examples and some more ideas of what ghost trains should look like on the Travel Channel. And this will be on Instagram, and this will be on YouTube and stuff like that. And give this video a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Happy haunted travels to you guys, and happy ghost hunting, and happy ghost watching. And give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. And I will see you guys later, okay? For the next ghost train story later this evening. Okay, bye everybody. Bye.